This is Red, White, and Bluegrass.
A state system glitch has put thousands at risk, including adopted children who had their new names and addresses exposed. The glitch happened within the Kentucky Health and Family Services Cabinet, exposing the new identities of 2,400 Kentuckians. Their names were sent to former households after they moved out to escape dangerous situations. Many of the people impacted are adopted children. State Auditor Allison Ball is now pressing the cabinet to notify impacted families.
Our letter to them was, what are you going to do to notify these people? And we haven't received an answer yet. The CHFS has made a statement that they don't have intentions to notify anybody. So that's why we have stepped in, and we want to know, what are your plans now?
We reached out to CHFS for comment. A spokesperson says in part, quote, the cabinet is diligently analyzing how many cases could have theoretically happened and if anyone else could be similarly impacted. They also say the department plans to go through every instance where these were issued to see if any other child was actually impacted. Senator Elkins, I'll start with you here. I mean, where do you even start? How would you fix a situation like this? What are some of the questions lawmakers have?
That's a very good question, Bodie, and one of the first things we're going to have to do is to find out exactly what happened and how did it happen. I think that's going to be the biggest question, is how did this happen? We put some of our most vulnerable at risk by exposing information about them that they trust their government with, and so we find a lot of issues like that in government recently, with the driver's license issue that we've seen, where there's a broken trust, and I don't know how we get that back, but I do know we're going to have to do better. We're going to have to do much better. I think we've kind of lost focus. Maybe this administration has lost focus. Some of the departments have lost focus. So I think we're going to have to do better, and there's a lot of questions to be asked yet. I'd like to see a committee meeting on this. I'd like to be able to ask a lot of questions yet.
Senator Thomas, have you ever seen anything like this happen before?
Yes, we've had problems before, Bodie. And to my colleague, Senator Elkins' point, I think this raises an even larger issue. Bodie, we've heard now for several years that our statewide government computer system is outdated. And it is outdated. Remember not too long ago, we were dealing with issues regarding unemployment compensation and how the system got overran.
And the switch over in the driver's system.
Absolutely. So what I think we seriously need to do now, with the 2026 budget session upon us, that as a legislature, we need to look at what steps need to be taken to bring our entire statewide government computer system, upgrade it into the future so it's current for 2026. And I tell you, we've got to do that, Bodie, because as you well know, I sit on the AI task force, okay? And we're studying that very carefully as well. We need to have a computer system in Kentucky state government that matches what's going on with AI here today.
And it's funny how often, whenever we kind of open the hood and look at these things, we can find, some things running off some much older systems. Not sure if that's what happened in this particular case, but it's good to ask those questions. On, the flip side of this, the folks that have been affected, where their identities were compromised. There's one story I was reading where, a child's credit ratings were affected by their previous family. Is there anything that the state could do to help them in their situation? Is there anything that's in the toolbox that y'all know of right now?
Well, again, that's really unfortunate. And as a state, we've got to do better. That's why, again, based upon what I said, it's imperative that we put money into our computer system for the entire state government to make sure that it's modern, it's state of the art for 2026, and has the ability to understand and utilize AI in a way that's beneficial for our state. So that's my suggestion as the 2026 budget is upon us. Budget session is upon us.
Senator Elkins, what do you think?
I agree with Senator Thomas that we do need to look at some of these programs. I've seen in my short time in the legislature, typically when we do that, we want to reinvent the wheel. We want to recreate the wheel. And I encourage us to this time not do that. There are other states who do this, and some of them do it better than us, and we need to try to emulate or implement some of their programs that they're doing. You ask about the tools in the toolbox to make some reparations or repairs for some of these issues. I think we're going to have to look at that. Again, it's still too early to know because we still don't know all the details of what happened here, how this happened, but I certainly think that we need to look at how we make this right and restore public trust, because if I can't depend on my government to protect my information, we're in a bad spot. So we've got to make that better.
Yeah, still some unanswered questions there. Thank you both for your insight. We'll be right back.